Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to the RGL.GG. I was about to say a lot of different things because we've had so many things at RGL, but this is it. Everybody's been waiting for it. No restriction sixes. Week one, that is right. This is 6v6. No weapons are banned. There's no class limits. This will be pure chaos. Or will it be controlled chaos? We will find out tonight, or at least we will start to learn what we're about to see this coming season. $2,300 over that on the line for these teams. 8 teams in Infight, 5-week season, going from 5 CP to Payload to Koth. We're hitting it all, and I hope you're going to be joining us here on the right. I am Sigafu, joined with Vox Day to my side and Dolphin behind the scenes. How you doing out here, Dolphin, or Vox Day?
Well, I'm doing great, man. I didn't know too much that this was coming. You filled me in, and I'm really pumped to see how this turns out, learning a little bit more about the format and just seeing some of the players that are going to be participating. I think it's going to be a pretty awesome experiment, and I think we have a great game coming up on our hands.
We're going to have something coming up on our hands. I have no like, that's the thing I love about this, is there was so many naysayers about people who have consistently talked down the idea of doing no restriction sixes. Everybody's, oh, it's going to be so terrible. It's going to be constant stalemates. And you know what? Maybe it will be. But the thing that I've seen is that everybody who has talked down about this, including myself, I have my reservations about how this league and this format will work. Nobody really agrees on why it will be bad. They keep saying, like, nobody can really say, like, this is exactly what the lineup will be that's going to be so terrible and so bad, and everybody's going to run it, and it's going to be so unfun to play against. Like, nobody has been able to do that yet, and I think that's what makes this exciting. As we get started out here we go. First mid-fight, I'll let you... Oh, we got baited. But anyways, that's what I think is really interesting about this, is what we can learn from this.
3, 2,
Yeah, I just got to double check. I may be on the wrong server.
All right. We are.
Well,
I'll take out the first mid. Then we have 4 games going on. We might be jumping to other ones once this finishes up. This is going to be first to 3. 2 medics run it. So 2 medics, 2 demos, a scout and a sniper coming out here on the mid for Pancake Waffles rifles. On the red side, it looks like they're going to be running 3 soldiers, a demoman, and a scout here, as they actually have the base jumper. Actually, so many base jumpers going across the point onto the medic, slowly folding down. Does take down one of those medics. Actually, no, he doesn't. He doesn't land it. The sniper is going to go down, but they lose 3 in the process. Another base jumper comes up, but the airstrike is not going to be enough to take down the medic, and that is almost a wipe. Penny, the last one left alive here, and the interesting strat of 3 soldier base jumping on the midpoint does not work out well for them.
Yeah, 3 soldiers, clearly not the way to go. So everyone get your notepads out, start making notes and seeing, well, all right, what am I gonna do when it comes time for me to win my match? But yeah, just a respawn now for Penny as they're starting to get their defenses up. They're running 3 engineers, and this could be brutal for the offense to push into. The first gun goes down. I like this play. You know that they're gonna be turtling hard. Why not get aggressive? You've got 2 quick fixes, and they've already made some space. Now it's just about winning some DM fights.
And they do just that, taking down the demo and medic, and down goes the sniper as well. Just 3 players left alive here for Pancake Waffles. We're just going to call them PWR. I can't say that all too quickly. They're going to be holding out in the lobby. They have the advantage. The Pyro's pushing forward for the team, but he doesn't have any support with him right now. He's 1 versus 3. Now the respawns are going to come up. The engineer making the play from drop down. He takes down the demo with the soldier as well. They actually took down 3. The medic's going to stay alive of Tom Tomato here, as it looks like they're going to try to re-engage from Big Door.
Yeah, and the point is being capped right now by the red side, RHDP. So maybe a backup now for PWR. Have to start thinking about defending that midpoint, but actually going to be a weird flank around. They might get sandwiched over in Banana, the medic and demo for PWR. I should say one of the medics for PWR. And oh my god, huge frags! And
So
coming in.
Is that, was that Crits Creek on the medic? Like, oh my
that was
god,
Crits Creek Pyro.
I mean, they have nothing to counter it, really. You can just run straight at them. It's actually just 1 left alive. The medic goes down, and now it's just Hedgehog here alone, man, on an island, and he's just going to run away with his life. What a turnaround from RHDP. My little Pepper's coming by, using that spicy crits to be able to turn around this fight.
Yeah, it's a great play. That's some real That's a real big brain play, going in with the Chris Pyro. I mean, especially if you've got everyone grouped up, of course you're going to do something like that. Got to be careful now for Penny alone, but linking up back with the team. Mid, they weren't able to push forward off of getting mid because of the respawns in for PWR, but now it looks like PWR want to challenge this. They've got a ton of players on point. Cinder up on Sniper, takes one out. That's Xenocide, but it looks like mid is going to go in blue team's favor, and now they just got to try to push back into second.
We'll see what they can do. They did have a spy play now for RHDP, and I'm going to see if that's going to work out too. I mean, spy is not particularly strong, especially in a 6v6 format, but Cinder does pick up a shot onto Hedgehog Hero. That's one of the demo man, as they still are running the second. Here comes up the crit streak, gets us some decent damage onto it, but the quick fix, but quick fix does not protect against the spy. Down goes the demo man right there. Now it's just the second medic left in here with the sniper, but can he do it? The sniper is going for miracle plays, but is he able to land anything? He's still alive. Finally does get taken down now. It's a fight against a scout with 2 medics behind him. Now the scout left and alone. He should be able to get out, but the soldier is going to try to chase him through big door. The point will still remain in the favor of red here. The question is, will they be able to push out? They do have a slight crits advantage here, as they are building up against I believe it's Vax and Quick Fix.
Yeah, that's correct. And I wonder, I mean, obviously I don't think there's a right and wrong way to play this just yet, but I wonder if switching out that quick fix for an Uber might end up helping them in the long run. I know obviously has its benefits, but as I'm talking, 2 players on RHDP do go down. That means an advantage for PWR, but their health is not great. Maybe one of those 2 medics can start healing up some bodies so they can push into second. Now they have the opportunity with 3 members down on the red side, and they are going to take advantage, get in on that second point. Respawns are coming in, but I don't think they're going to come up in time.
Oh no, but the crits takes down 2. Can he find the 30s right in front of the Dillman? He's not able to land the bolt onto him. Finally does go down. The scout will take down this point, so they have to be careful of a back cap, as actually the scout's going to win the fight, but just the, oh no, the medic Penny actually wins the 1v1 against the scout, landing the arrow onto him. And so now they need to get back out on the second here to get the capture. Respawn's coming up very close for the team because that second point went down, so they're respawning back on the middle point. But this back and forth matchup, you can see RHDP now is running 2 demo men themselves. So there are 2 demos, 2 soldiers, 1 scout, as they're continuing to adjust it up, trying to figure out what they need to do, because they're getting good pushes against PWR, but they're just not being clinical enough to take back the midpoint yet.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem here is PWR have kind of a defensive setup, right? You have 2 demo men, which are kind of more traditionally a defensive player, you know, class, sorry, and no Kritzkrieg, right? Kritzkrieg is one of the few things that makes demo very aggressive. So they have two defensive classes and 2 medics, so I don't think they really have the firepower to push forward, and that might be the reason why RHDP are having trouble coming back and PWR are having trouble moving forward. But Crits does come out, Newspeak does find 1, Penny goes down, a little bit more of the engagement, and medic down, I don't know, maybe a chance to get second again.
Well, see, I just want to point out right now that the Vaccinator is very, very strong, as currently RHDP is running 4 explosive classes. So if they just stay explosive most of the time, like, they're going to win those fights. And now pretty much everybody went down on the flank as well, as, yeah, they're just getting cleaned up here. RHDP is going to have to get on their last defense as their players are coming up. But, I mean, that just is, like, if you're going to run all explosive classes, like, that's one of the counters to it, is just run Vaccinator, and you completely neutralize a team going with a homogenous strategy.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they have any opportunity to try to take last. We know last time they got stuffed, but there were 3 engineers on the red side. This time, not so much because of the demos and soldiers, all that explosive classes that you were talking about. And so far, I mean, they've kept them at bay. I wonder if it may just be a matter of building up this Uber and Vaccinator. So they did switch off, and just to know, RHDP now also 2 medics, Crits and Vaccinator. So it's gonna be quite the showdown.
We'll see what they can do with this. I mean, having that static medic, if you can hold on to one of those Ubers, maybe gives you a chance to be able to push out aggressively. You know, you absorb one of the Ubers, and then you kind of push out with the other one. But they're doing a good flank. Here comes out the Uber charge inside of River. They're trying to work their way through. They are getting the frags. 3 players currently down for the defensive side, but can they hold on here? The Vaccinator doing a good job defending against his soldier. Mech's gonna run onto the point, but here we go. The Mech's actually, you bust out the melee onto him, but the Demoman just doing too much, and this is looking like it, but the respawns, here they come. You're gonna see the soldier jump onto the point, but it's not gonna be enough, and the first round goes in the favor of PWR.
Yeah, and that was almost happened for RHDP. They almost were able to come back and hold that defense, but unfortunately nothing doing there. So PWR going up 1-0. Next mid coming up. Class is just a little bit different. No triple soldier. 2, they've got a scout, demo, and sniper on the RHDP side, and it looks like PWR kind of sticking with what they think is best.
And I think the quick fix vaccinator model is pretty decent, but the sniper could be able to get one of those sneaky picks because the medic doesn't have that uber protection on him. But 2 players go down early in the fight here. Hedgehog hero as well as Chain, but Newspeak and Playmo go down as well. The soldier all the way behind is being chased by 3 different blue players, and now the scout's alone here in a 1v3 fighting. He easily gets cleaned up, so this is going to be a point in the favor of PWR. Though Cinder does pick up a frag onto Earthworm, but this is the thing, is like you take down one Delman, there's still one alive. Like that's kind of what ultimately happens. It's like these picks don't necessarily mean as much, but it also kind of feels like RHDP is really spread out on these mid fights. Like they're not focusing their fire, and that's one of the reasons they're losing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably already difficult enough because of the 2 medics and 2 demos, and because of that, there's just so much HP that's being spread around the blue side. So RHDP need to figure out what how are they going to change their approach, because they do have to get a lot of chunk damage in and quickly. Cinder does pick up change, so no sniper on the blue side, and Hedgehog hero also fell. They might be able to hold this point, but the Uber comes out for PWR. Newspeak down as well as Penny. That's the medic. One more maybe falling down. No, Playmo's gonna get back, grab that pack, but I mean, second is still taken, and they want to aggress into last already.
Yeah, and they're running 2 direct hit soldiers, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't really feel like they're doing too much with it. And here we go. They're pushing into the final point here with that Vaccinator Scout, as well as the second mount. They're doing some Uber charges. I think he actually got 2 hits off. I don't know if he has the Uber charge just yet. Down goes one of the medics, make that a second, and there you go. PWR. And honestly, the thing here is that I think RHDP, they're kind of throwing this game right now. If they just had like a little bit of a semblance of coordinated play, they could easily be winning this. Their DM is not that far off, but their antics are. And PWR is actually trying here, and that's why they're winning, it feels like, more than anything else.
Yeah, they have found their winning combination. They haven't switched off of the scout to demos and sniper for a minute. I mean, that sniper is really what I'd consider the class that you can switch on and off of if you'd like. And RHDP don't even show up to mid this time. Very interesting that they chose not to. Point's gonna get capped and maybe just going for a second point. But that's kind of when you probably as a team maybe given up just a little bit when you don't even attempt to go to mid.
Well, and they're still going for this direct hit idea, which I can't get behind. It just isn't making sense. They're not landing enough shots to go with it. They do have the Crit Creek ready to go as they're hiding up here, but Penny goes down, and here we go. The soldier's going to drop down on here. Sorry, it's a quick fix being used on him. He's going to try to focus down the medic, but again, he's just whiffing so many shots here. They do take down the scout, but are they going to be able to get anything more here? It's a 3v4 fight. The banner is going to be able to come up here. Will that be able to help them out? But it doesn't really seem like it, because again, they're just not landing the direct hit shots to make this worthwhile.
Yeah, and I'm surprised some of the classes we haven't seen come out. We saw the Spy get used once. We saw the Pyro get used briefly. No heavies so far.
I feel like heavy would be really good here.
Yeah, especially defensively. I remember a little bit back in when matchmaking first started. That was our play. Vaccinators and heavies were absolutely disgusting with quick fixes and everything. I don't know. Maybe some thoughts got to come that way. But this point is being just absolutely overrun by PWR. Really make that change, because he's the one getting 2 picks as sniper. Cinder goes down, 2 up for RHDP. They only have the 1 medic Newspeak on a respawn of 4 seconds, and otherwise I think this point might get capped pretty shortly.
Yeah. We'll see if they're able to hold on here as they're going to start pushing into this point. They have a 2-player advantage on the offense. They do lose 1 in the process. As the medic's going forward, the Pyro comes out as Newspeak does get headshot, make that another one going down. But the frags are coming up for the defense. It's a 2v2. Now it's just a Delman. Can he do it? It's a scout on the point. He's going to bust up the melee, but no, he's going to drop down. And that's going to be a 3-0 in the favor of PWR in this first week's match. But that's not it, everybody. We still have time. We still have other matches, at least one going on here. Let's jump over to it. Let me tell you which server it is. All right, is gonna be the let me pull up the match here. We're gonna jump to the Sixes Elitist versus Prevail. So the first connect string.
Coincidentally, that was the server that I was in the beginning, but we made it, Sigafu, and we saw that whole match, and we're gonna get we're gonna give him a whole other match to watch too.
Let's see how far along. This is 1-1 right now, so this is much closer. Dolphin, let me know when you're in. But right now, so it's just to kind of give you a little bit of a semblance as we're getting Dolphin into the server. It is the Sixes Elitist against Prevail, and is currently 1-1 between these two teams, which is pretty impressive because I kind of pegged Prevail to be able to come out on top. Because I thought Prevail would be like at least the potential second place finishers. So Sixes Elites is looking really good here if they're tying it up. But yeah, Dolphin, are you in the server yet? All right, perfect. Why don't you talk about what you're seeing, Vox?
Yeah, so I mean, as you were just saying that Sixes Elitist doing a good job, they got absolutely wiped. Prevail just kind of running in, now already taking second. We'll see how quickly this is gonna end. Now we got some heavy play. We got two heavies, Brass Beast and Tomislav, with their own pocket medics and two snipers. So oh, we got a sniper switching off to soldier. We'll see how this defense goes. Maybe not enough time to get an engineer in, but an uber charge coming in. Spades is gonna go down.
Scout on point.
Ooh, they almost got the cap. I don't know, the blue team's on it and they do grab that cap. They just ignore the players and focus the point, and that's just smart play.
Yeah, it just seemed to work out for them right there. I mean, they kind of just put the scout like straight onto it. So here we go, coming into this next mid fight. This is match point in the favor of Prevail. So we'll see what they're able to do with this, as it looks like their Demoman is going to be running out. They're running two Demoman, medic, and two snipers, as well as a scout here on the middle fight. As Space Ghost is going to get an early pick onto Pablo.
Yeah, Space Ghost, wow, second one, picks up Jets, and oh, he gets the third. Nixie goes down. Look at Space Ghost go. I mean, sniper at mid, hell yeah. I mean, that's exactly what you want, but they still haven't capped the point, even with a 5-on-3 advantage, and I'm not, did they think they capped it?
Maybe they think there's two scouts remaining on their team that don't exist who are capping right now. Maybe they're just confused that this is no restriction sixes and class diversity is actually happening, and maybe they don't have dedicated people to the actual point. But here they go. They are coming back to the point now. The scout is going to be coming down with it, but you know, it was an interesting play. Now we are seeing, we can talk about Six Delays who came down with that point. They are running two medics. One of them is on quick fix, or sorry, crits, and the other one is on uber charge. So a little bit of a different two medic setup we're seeing from Six Delays just right now.
Yeah, and looks like they're gonna come through over on the garage side. Couple of trades going back and forth. Oh, the crit. Oh, it's a drop too.
That was a drop. That's four players right now with the crits. And can they continue it on? They're going to come on here. The sniper's still up on the backside of point. He's looking to make some miracle play. Grape Juice still has an uber charge. He's holding on to it. He wants to hold on to that into the final point. But the Delman, he's coming in. He wants to force off the medic, and he does get the pick there. And so everybody is down there for the blue side, but they got the force and onto Grape Juice. And so that's going to slow down Six's enthusiasts for the final push here.
Yeah, and that's the best you can hope for there if you are Prevail. I mean, it's the best of a bad situation, really. And Space Ghost is going to go down. Awkward position for Grape Juice to be in, and he's going to go down. Spades as well. This might be the opportunity Prevail need to get back on to second. Although they are taking their time and getting there. They do have a couple of players to contend with that maybe they want to pick up, and there goes Azion falling. So this should be the second point now in their favor, but a back cap might be possible. The medic and soldier have snuck behind, but there's a heavy waiting for him on point, and that should I think that's gonna, I don't think they're gonna be able to get past this heavy. Yeah, here comes the cap in on to second. It was a good attempt. I liked it.
That's definitely a good idea, but here we go. Delman actually, he's going for the wrap play on the enemy team. He's got the sniper and medic caught in here, but the Delman's actually going to go down as finally it's going to be Azon coming in there to help kill Jets. And so we'll see, but now that they did that, they rotate over to Big Door. That allowed Choke to be able to pop through, but as I say that, they are being pressed from behind, and they get the force off, but everybody dies in the process for Six's Elite, as it is Rain with the 3K right there.
Yeah, and getting aggressive right now is one of the demos. I'm not sure. Oh, Pablo is in. He's just walking through. He might go down here. He's super aggressive, and he's going to back out, get some heals, but he's really just pushing Sixy out of the choke point, and that's all you can really hope for, is just the fact that now they get mid, and they only had to sacrifice, didn't even have to sacrifice the player, just had one forward, and just a good take there from Prevail.
Yeah, and look at this. They took over oh, nice drop there. Not drop, but kill onto the heavy. That Rain was doing so much damage there. Nice job at Space Ghost with the Dumbman as well. They take down one more, but now it's a 3v4 fight here for the defense. The Medic's completely alone. The Sniper needs to get a miracle shot onto the Scout. He does get the Girardi onto him, but he will die in the process, and so both of those players will go down. The blue Prevail will continue their dominance here, but again, I think it's that heavy just doing so much work. We didn't see it a lot in the first game, but I'm kind of surprised, and I think Prevail's doing a great job with the use of their aggressive heavy.
Yeah, O'Brien, though, he gets a couple in the backline. He does go down for his troubles, but finding 2 picks there might have just saved this last point. Otherwise, you know, you have a 6v5 going in. So Prevail are going to back up, wait for their players, maybe give some time for 6E to think about how they want to approach this. Right now, a Soldier, Demo, Heavy, and 2 medics, and then still Space Ghost hanging out on Sniper, who we've seen able to put some work in and currently second on the scoreboard for the red team.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's just you're running 2 medics, and then you're running like a heavy, like you have so few power, like actual damage classes, like just raw damage classes. Like Sniper is a pick class, he can get a lot of damage down, but he is running the Girardi, so I guess that does be able to help like get some more damage for your team. Actually, Six's enthusiasts, they are picking up. Matt does go down, but Grape Juice is still alive. But you can see the combo for Prevail. They're actually going into last. Is anybody there to protect it? It's going to be the heavy fight. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably smart just to go for it. You've got you've only got a couple players live. They
managed
to get
it!
it!
Oh, they gotta drop the Uber! They gotta... Wait, no, they're gonna get it! They got it!
Oh, I honestly thought 6E were gonna be able to hold that, but somehow, some way, Rain, Prevail, you know, they win the 2v1 fight. The Uber thought it was gonna be a big blunder, but managed to pick it up and take the match 3-1.
Yeah, that was a really impressive final push there. I mean, but also kind of a mistake out of 6E there is not having, you know, coverage on all the different areas. You know, you got to make sure that you're actually watching, you know, to see what's going on there. And so we're 30 minutes into the day, and we've already watched all of the matches for Invite are done. So everybody was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a stalemate fest and unable to be pushed. So far, not true, but maybe as teams get better with the meta, we'll find that out. But it seems that the class variety is kind of working both ways with that aggression. And so very interesting to see how very, very quickly these games are being done. But we can take a look at logs. But a reminder here, if you guys are interested, you can follow us here. If you do follow us, you can check out rgl.gg/contest. We're giving away over $400 worth of prizes. ProLanders also open in registration. Just check out rgl.gg for more information on all of this. But either way, we'll be back next week with Upward in No Restriction 6s. Payload 6s. When's the last time you saw that with money on the line? Probably never. So I hope you guys tune in for that. But let's take a look at these logs here real quick. I don't know if we can try to pull them up. Race to the logs.
All right, we're pulling them up for the Prevail game.
Yeah, let's do it for the Prevail game. That was actually a little bit closer.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've got some pulled up. Looks like a Heavy Lucid.
I think that's
Lucid.
Rain.
Okay. Yeah, Rain. I mean, look, 18-8. Switched off Heavy. Went 14-6 on Heavy. So really, the majority of that coming from Heavy. So kind of what I felt. Heavy is a really, really strong option, and maybe was underutilized in the first match. We caught 429 DPM. So really putting in a lot of work on the heavy weapons guy. And other than that, you see Space Ghost too, kind of sandwiched in the middle as well between 2 blue players. Kind of saw how much damage he could do on that one mid. I think he got 3 or 4 picks using the Machina.
Yeah, the thing that's kind of interesting to me is the team that ran 1 medic is the one that won over the team that ran 2 medics. You know, because there's always this conversation of like 2 medics is way overpowered, and it's like not, you know, and it's possible that it is, and maybe that, you know. But again, it's like it's interesting that we're having these conversations where it's like clearly 2 medics is not an instant win, is my point. At least not right now, at least not with what we know. And that's kind of like, as we kind of learn through this process, like, okay, in the first game, it seemed like 2 medics was very, very possible to quick fix and, you know, the quick fix as well. But maybe it's like, maybe Ubercharging crits is not a good enough combo. You know, maybe you just can't get it off enough. And the game, which is so, you know, fast paced, that kind of went through here. But again, as I said, I think Heavy was just a really, really, really powerful, especially Heavy, in Gullywash, it seems like he was kind of getting really good angles, really close range fights, consistently. Rain was, and that's why he was just doing so much damage. But I think that's impressive that they were able to do that with just one medic going up against two. But I think the other thing too is the other team was running primarily like a sniper, a demo soldier, and a scout. And I think it's like if you're going to run two medics, I feel like you need more power classes than a sniper potentially, or even a scout. I don't know, like scout's pretty freaking powerful, but I don't know. I feel like you need to be tankier if you're going to be running two medics. That's something like that. Or maybe just two medics is wrong. I don't know. It's somewhere in there.
Yeah, I mean, definitely something I think teams will continue to experiment with. The one thing that I mean is kind of fun to see too, besides BM, I think I can't remember who this was. Was that Mike Matt? I think was the second medic. Yeah, Mike Matt, and Lazar. Everyone and Space Ghost. Everyone was switching classes a lot. It's really the point that I'm trying to get to. I mean, you can see. I think that was Azion switching between 6 different classes, 4 for spades, 4 for jets. I believe that is too. And I don't know. It's so much. There's so much chaos. It's hard to keep up, but it's a lot of fun when everything breaks down. You can really see, see the raw DM of some of these players.
Yeah, so definitely interesting, fun to watch. That's for sure. I mean, always kept me on the toes. But I mean, it's like one of these things where it's like a lot of the chaos right now is just purely because nobody really knows, And so like once teams start to figure out like these are kind of the combos that work, and they'd like, oh, this seems overpowered, and so we're gonna copy that overpowered, and then somebody kind of figures out how to beat that and kind of go from there. It's going to be really interesting as the season goes on, especially as we switch from, as we go into upward next week, like how much of these strategies are going to translate over. Like, does two medics work on offense, or is two medics more of a defensive strategy? Like where does that line happen? And I think these are interesting questions to ask. But I think with that, I think we can kind of wrap it up here. This very short cast. I wasn't expecting it to be this short. I thought there'd be a little bit more back and forth, but teams really doing a good job tonight with pushing. Any kind of final thoughts you want to give, Vox?
No, I think the game said it all for us, but I'm very interested to see how things develop and how players adapt, and really I think this is a fun and cool experiment, because you think back to this is likely this is how TF2 was played back in the beginning, and you wonder, as things develop and as people like decide what works best for them, what is it going to turn into? Are teams going to continue to switch around classes, or are they going to be more like I can't remember the name. First tee we've got Pancake Waffle, and find their set of classes and stick with it. So I think that's going to be the most interesting thing, kind of redeveloping the meta from the ground up.
And just to respond, some people are asking about why we did 3 rounds. It seems very, very short. It is very, very short. But one of the things that we wanted to do is try to copy the matchmaking system to some degree, at least when it comes to the this mode. And we decided to do no time limit. And we were worried that if we went for a long, first 2 to 5 wins with no time limit, would that be too long of a game, kind of a thing? Because if you get a really competitive match that's back and forth, it can go on for quite a while. So it's definitely something we'll consider, but we'd rather have shorter matches than leave people in matches that are way, way too long. And the idea of, and kind of explains kind of Banny's idea that he kind of really was emphasizing when we kind of talked about this, is that the reason we went for the no time limit is because it makes it a little bit more interesting. It makes it a little less stalematey, because like you can't stalemate to win. Like you have to push to win. Like that's the only way that you can win the game, is by pushing, essentially. And so it's like, hopefully it kind of draws that out of people, but maybe not. Maybe that's not necessarily the correct way to do it, and maybe time limits are the best. We're gonna figure that out. Time limits at least allow you to make sure the games last a little bit longer, but either way, interesting game. I don't even know what to say. Just interesting. I'm excited to see, though, as we go into next week. Upward will be a best of 3, so that'll definitely last a little bit longer, and I'm really, really excited to see what this game mode looks like on Payload. So I think we'll go over there. Vox, any shouts you want to give before we shut this off?
It was just shout out for to the teams for playing, and thanks for giving me the invite to cast this.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you for coming out again. Don't forget to follow us, sub to our YouTube channel, join our Discord if you guys want to try this out. The league registration has closed for new teams. You can join existing teams, and of course, Prolander registration is still open right now. So if you're interested in joining a league, Prolander is open, and that'll be running for. It starts up in about a week or so. So it's very, very close to starting up. But I think with that, let's make sure we give some Dolphin some love for the very short casting session he did. I'm sure he's happy about that. He's already done two this week, and we might already have another one already lined up. So thank you everybody for hanging out with us here tonight and joining us for this. And I think we'll cut it off there. Have a great rest of your night.